This terrifying painting made people cross themselves before seeing it. Today we're diving into one of the most unsettling, eerie, and strangely mesmerizing paintings of all time, called Lucifer by Franz von Stuck. This painting was so terrifying that Bulgaria's Prince Ferdinand's ministers reportedly made the sign of the cross every time they saw it. Just imagine, you're deep in political discussions, and out of the corner of your eye, those piercing green eyes lock onto you, unblinking, as if peering into your very soul. If that doesn't send a shiver down your spine, nothing will. And honestly, after analysing this painting, I don't blame them. So, sit back, grab some holy water just in case, and let's explore what makes this painting so hauntingly unforgettable. And stick around until the end. I've got some mind-blowing facts about Lucifer that will change the way you look at this painting forever. Before we come face to face with Lucifer himself, let's take a moment to meet the mastermind who brought him to life. Franz von Stuck wasn't just any artist. He was one of the most significant German symbolist painters of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. But calling him just a painter would be like calling Leonardo da Vinci just a doodler. He was a sculptor, designer, architect, and professor, essentially the ultimate Renaissance man of his time. Born in 1863 in Bavaria, Stuck showed artistic talent early on. He moved to Munich at just 15 years old and later enrolled in the prestigious Academy of Fine Arts in 1881. His early career focused on illustrations and decorative works, but soon he shifted to painting, and when he did, he made sure the art world noticed. His big break came in 1889 with Guardian of Paradise, a masterpiece that won him a gold medal at the Munich Glass Palace exhibition. This wasn't just another painting, it was a triumph of symbolism, a movement that delved into the subconscious, myths, dreams, and the rawest human emotions. Think of symbolism as the psychological thriller genre of 19th century art. Stuck embraced it like a true master, weaving themes of darkness, desire, and divine mystery into his works. Stuck didn't just paint figures, he painted moods. His pieces had an eerie, almost hypnotic power, evoking both fascination and fear. His signature style, dark sensuality mixed with deep psychological undertones, made him one of the most recognizable artists of his time. And when he set his sights on Lucifer, he wasn't interested in painting a traditional, horned devil. He wanted to capture something far more disturbing. Fun fact: one of Stuck's students at the Munich Academy of Fine Arts was none other than Wassily Kandinsky, the pioneer of abstract art. Imagine being able to say your professor painted Lucifer. Now that's an art history flex. In 1895, Stuck became a professor at the Munich Academy, mentoring a new generation of avant-garde artists. A year later, he built Villa Stuck, his personal sanctuary, a house filled with mythological murals, elaborate sculptures, and an atmosphere so dramatic that it would have made Dracula feel right at home. Yet despite his immense influence, Stuck's work fell into obscurity as movements like Expressionism and Cubism took over. By the time of his death in 1928, his name had faded. It wasn't until the 1980s, when Villa Stuck was reopened as a museum, that people started to appreciate his genius once more. Let's talk about Lucifer. Picture this. You're a Bulgarian politician in 1891, walking into Prince Ferdinand's palace, prepared for an important discussion. Then suddenly, bam, you find yourself face to face with this painting. A massive, shadowy figure with glowing green eyes that seem to follow you no matter where you move. If you don't instinctively make the sign of the cross, are you even human? Prince Ferdinand had a deep love for art and collected many striking pieces, but when he acquired Lucifer, he had no idea the reaction it would provoke. His ministers found the painting so unnerving that they started blessing themselves every time they passed it. It became an unspoken tradition. Like the 19th century version of nervously checking your phone, when you see someone you don't want to talk to? Things escalated when Ferdinand married Princess Marie-Louise of Bourbon-Parma, a devout Catholic. The moment she saw Lucifer, she nearly collapsed. Horrified, she demanded that Ferdinand remove it from sight. Being a somewhat considerate husband, he agreed, and the painting was stored away, where it presumably continued to stare into the abyss in peace. And here's a little detail that makes it even creepier. The model for Lucifer wasn't a famous actor or a trained model. It was Stuck's gardener. That's right. The chilling stare that haunted an entire palace belonged to a guy who probably spent his afternoons trimming hedges. Stuck was so captivated by his intense gaze that he used him for multiple paintings. So, next time you think your boss underestimates you, remember one gardener's resting face became the devil himself. At first glance, Lucifer doesn't fit the typical image of Satan. There are no horns, no flames, no fanged grimace. And yet, this painting is deeply unsettling. Why? 1. The eyes that follow you. Lucifer's gaze is hypnotic. He looks through you rather than at you. There's something almost sorrowful yet calculating about his expression, like he's contemplating his exile, or your fate. 2. The unnatural anatomy. His right arm is twisted in an unnatural way. What is he reaching for? His wings? The shadows? The ambiguity makes it all the more disturbing. 3. The glow behind him. A mysterious crescent-shaped light frames his head. Is it the moon? A ghostly remnant of heaven? A sinister halo? Stuck leaves it deliberately vague, making the painting even more enigmatic. So, what do you think? Is Lucifer one of the most terrifying paintings ever created? Or were those Bulgarian ministers just a little dramatic? One thing is certain. This painting has a presence. It doesn't just sit quietly on a wall. It confronts you. Stuck didn't paint an obvious cartoonish devil with horns and flames. He painted something far more unsettling. An angel on the precipice, caught between realms, neither fully human nor entirely divine. The eerie glow of his golden skin, the piercing hollow stare, the unnerving stillness. This Lucifer is not a creature of chaos, but of cold, calculated malevolence. He does not rage or burn. He waits. And perhaps that is the most terrifying thing of all. It's easy to see why this painting has provoked such strong reactions over the years. There's something about it that lingers in the mind long after you've looked away. Something that makes you feel watched, even when you turn your back. The Bulgarian officials who removed it from their national art gallery weren't just responding to superstition. They were reacting to a presence, an energy that is difficult to ignore. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, Lucifer has an undeniable power. Maybe that's the true strength of great art. It doesn't just exist. It reaches out, unsettles, demands something from the viewer. Franz von Stuck's Lucifer isn't just a painting, it's an experience, one that stares into your soul and asks questions you might not be ready to answer. If you enjoyed this analysis, let me know in the comments what painting or artist you'd like me to cover next. Should we dive into another sinister masterpiece, something equally haunting and enigmatic? Or would you prefer a palette cleanser, something lighter, something that doesn't feel like it's whispering dark secrets into your ear? Until next time, try not to stare into Lucifer's eyes for too long. You might not like what stares back.